There are literally hundreds of the best overland vehicles you will ever find right here at Overland Expo West 2019. Let's go take a look at some really cool ones. Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad, and today I am at Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, Arizona. And one of my favorite things to do while I'm here is to go around and just look at all the amazing overland builds that people have done, that vendors have done. And so in this video, I'm going to take you with me as we go take a look at some of the ones that I think are really stand out. So we're going to walk around. I don't know how many we're going to look at, but this should be a lot of fun, guys. Let's go check out some cool rigs. I can't even begin to count just how many vehicles were on display at Overland Expo this year. And if you are a car nut like me, walking around and appreciating the quality and ingenuity that goes into building some of these is inspiring. Be sure to stay around until the end of the video where I will share with you my favorite vehicle of the entire event. The vehicles that always seem to attract the most attention at Overland Expo are the massive expedition-style overland rigs. And let's be honest, while these are really awesome vehicles, they are a little out of financial reach for most of us. Some of these are converted military vehicles, and others are luxury rigs that have been outfitted for off-road use. Living out of one of these on a long expedition like traveling to Alaska or South America or roaming around Africa would make for some nice adventure in comfort. Now, some of these are extremely capable with 40-inch tires, solid axles, and all types of off-road traction control technology. But these are best suited for open roads, long stretches of easy dirt or sandy trails. You really wouldn't want to take one of these on a tight technical trail. At least I wouldn't advise it. There are always plenty of vans on display at Expo, and I've seen some of these outfitted pretty well with some nice suspension components and practical interior designs. These are more nimble than a big old earth roamer, but the height on these has always made me a little leery. Taking something narrow and tall like this out on a trail that has some off-camber obstacles could be a little sketchy. Nonetheless, they would be a great setup for long trips and a little backroad exploration. I think this 4x4 Nissan van is a solid option, and I've always been a fan of the sportsmobiles. These things are capable and offer some nice camping and storage amenities. The next category of overland rigs was one I was really taking a hard look at, and that's the full-size overland category. These are well outfitted 1/2 and 3/4 ton trucks, and these were the dominant vehicle at the expo, and I think this is a category that provides a nice mix of reasonable size capability and plenty of load carrying capacity to be able to bring plenty of supplies and build a platform to be able to eat and sleep and live out of the back. I'm very intrigued by the full-size overland vehicles. While I do enjoy hitting a difficult trail in my Jeep and being nimble, being able to outfit a truck like this, have excellent fuel range, and still be able to make my way down some moderate remote trails is very appealing to me. I did notice a few more Ford Raptors at this year's event, and what a great platform to build on. An extremely capable full-size truck with loads of fun horsepower, and then slap a tent or truck bed conversion on it, and that seems like a great combination to me. The Aev Prospector Ram 2500 or 3500 also has endless possibilities, and you're starting with a great vehicle right off the shelf from Aev. I think I could envision myself cruising down to Baja in one of these. What a great truck. There were several new designs of rear truck bed conversions this year to admire, and while the price of one of these might be hefty, I would personally prefer these types of setups over towing a trailer or the rack and rooftop tent options. Some nice comfort and cool innovations built into some of these. I think we'll be seeing more and more from the full-size truck bed conversions going forward. Last year, I did a walk around of this Aev Outback Conversion, and this was my favorite vehicle of the show. And I'll leave a link down below if you missed that video. But I think these type of builds have unlimited potential. This Mercedes was very, very nicely done. A lot of good quality here. But my buddy Marco took notice of this troop carrier. Marco, you're telling me this Trooper is your favorite. Why is this your favorite vehicle here?
It's a Troopy. It cannot be more classical than that. And look at the wood. Look at this.
Yeah, it's good quality, right?
Quality, yeah. I'll look good in that seat right
Heck
there.
Yeah. We could only wish these were available here in the US. They are rugged and capable for sure. Now for the vehicle that was all the buzz this year at Overland Expo, the Rivian electric truck. And this is not a concept. This is going on sale very soon. While I have been a self-proclaimed petrolhead my whole life, I just can't stop daydreaming about this thing. There is no denying that electric vehicles are the future. The capabilities that they offer are just so hard to beat. A truck that goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds? I mean, come on, that's crazy. Now, this truck is 5,800 pounds, but the payload capacity and the ground clearance are pretty respectable. It does have an air suspension built in that will give you a little bit extra height, and the range on the extended battery model is 400 miles. Considering I only get about 300 miles in my Jeep on a good day, that's a good distance before needing to recharge. Now, this is not going to replace my Jeep, well, at least not today anyway, but I am a big fan of this truck and electric vehicles and the potential they offer. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As usual, Toyota Tacomas dominated the mid-size truck overland market here at Expo. And I've driven a few Tacomas in the past and they are a great truck, but the competition for them is getting really tough these days. There were a few Chevy Colorados on display this year and they've got some nice builds coming along. And I know I've already mentioned Aev, but they probably had the best one with this Bison model. I think I only saw one Nissan Frontier at the event, but there were a handful of the new Ford Rangers being built. It's nice to see those coming along. My fellow YouTube creator, Ronnie Dahl, was driving around in this one with a Patriot camper's bed on it, and he said he really enjoyed it. Now, let's face it, all those mid-sized trucks are nice, but there is only one that's been on my mind for the last few months. That's right, the Jeep Gladiator. And I think the Jeep Gladiator is going to be one of the most dominant mid-sized trucks here next year at Overland Expo. There were only a few on display since they were only recently released for sale, but it was nice to see what some of the possibilities are right now. I know my wife and friends are tired of me talking about the Gladiator, but I think someday down the road, maybe soon, if the budget allows, there might be one of these in my driveway. Without a doubt, this was the nicest one at the event. This is the Jeep Gladiator Way Out build, and this is a great example of the possibilities the Gladiator platform has. I almost picked this as my favorite vehicle of the entire expo, but it got beat out. Be sure to stick around till the end and see the rig that took the top honors. There were a few overland vehicles that were tough to kind of categorize, but I think it's important to mention that overlanding isn't just about hitting a 4x4 trail, although having that capability, in my opinion, is important, but having a vehicle that you can live out of for several days at a time and is reliable are really the key components. These all have some potential and will fit a certain niche. Okay, well, maybe not this one, but it's kind of cool anyway. There were two Sherps on display this year, and these are not a new vehicle. They have been around for a while, but this was the first time that I had the chance to see one up close. These will make their way across land and water with little effort, but I'm not sure I'd want to take one of these on a long expedition. You could have a ton of fun in something like this in the swampy marshes of Louisiana while out hunting alligators, I suppose. It's always great to see folks keeping the classics alive in the overland community. There is just something pure and raw about old vehicles that I love. No complicated digital systems, just generally easy to fix, just plain simple. Sure, you lose some of those creature comforts, but for the purist, this is really the way to go. Of course, I have to make sure I mention the Defender because it's just an overlanding icon. I would like to have seen a few more on display though, because it's a vehicle I'm very intrigued by. There were some very well outfitted Toyota 4Runners this year, but not as many as I expected. Additionally, there were really not as many Jeep Wranglers on display this year, which was a little surprising. There were a few nice ones here and there. This one in particular was built by the Jeep called Yeti on Instagram. Definitely go check them out. This is one I hope to be doing a further, more detailed video of here in the coming months. I do get asked all the time about two-door Jeep Wranglers used for overlanding, and there were a few on display here. You've really got to be mindful about what you're packing in a two-door, but if you get it all dialed in right, you're going to have one of the most capable trail vehicles for overlanding I think you can get. Now, are you guys ready to check out the vehicle that I chose for top honors for the 2019 Overland Expo West? Here it is. This is the Jeep Gladiator Codex built by the folks at Dynatrack. It has been converted into a two-door Gladiator, which I've seen lots of folks out there begging Jeep to produce. There has been an extensive amount of fabrication done to incorporate this with the Patriot Campers P-Core box, which is built with some great quality. It has two doors that open on each side, a fridge, and plenty of storage space inside, and then there's a rooftop tent and an awning on top. And most importantly, there's a Hellcat motor under the hood. Oh yeah, this thing will shred it out on the trail and out on the road. It's got an extended range fuel tank and plenty of other accessories. They're not done building this yet, but I'm excited to see what's more to come. I think this is the ultimate Gladiator build, and I was glad I got the opportunity to see it up close. I really think we will see many, many more variations of this in the next year. This is very exciting. Before arriving at Overland Expo West, I took a 4-day trip with some close friends and filmed their vehicles and gear along the way. And I also recently released another video of my experience here at Overland Expo West where I met with other YouTube creators and checked out some of the vendor booths. Be sure to go check out both of those videos. Thanks for watching.